Okay, there's some JWs over there, and I'm going to go talk to them. I don't think the nervousness is ever going to go away, so I should stop worrying about that. Anyways, okay, here we go again. Hello. I'm sorry?
Would you like something to read?
You got the cutest haircut.
I know.
Thank you.
What color is that?
It is.
Oh, it's like a black purple, black.
That's good.
Thank you, appreciate that.
This one is a nice magazine right there.
Yeah, so it talks about how we can prepare before a disaster, and then what to do during, and then of course afterwards.
Okay.
So there's a lot of helpful information on there, especially with everything that's been going on,
And it's a
in the world.
like a Bible disaster preparation.
Well, it does have some biblical scriptures in here. For example, Proverbs 27:12. It's quoted here. It says, "The shrewd person sees the danger and conceals himself, but the inexperienced keep right on going and suffer the consequences."
Okay.
So it helps us to see that, we have to be prepared beforehand to really help us, during that time.
Interesting. Can I ask you a question about your beliefs?
Sure.
How confident are you?
Kiddos.
How confident are you that your beliefs are true? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate that?
I would say 10.
A 10 out of, wait, did I say 1 to 10 or 1? Okay, I was like, wait, I thought I said 1 out of 100. Okay, 1 out of 10? Okay, so that's really confident. Okay, so if it was out of 100, it would be 100? Wow, that's really confident.
Yes.
So, is there anything that would shake your faith? Like, for example, if something were to change, would, in the doctrine, or would that, like, lower your confidence?
No, because our faith is based on the Bible, and we believe that that's God's word.
Don't y'all believe in, like, new light?
New light.
Yeah. The light gets brighter.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's changing. So, how do you feel about that, like, when things change? Like, for example, the blood doctrine has changed a lot.
In what sense do you say that it has changed?
Like, for example, it used to be forbidden for Jehovah's Witnesses to take any blood whatsoever, and now it's okay for them to take certain fractions. And then there was the vaccines. So vaccines were absolutely forbidden at one point, and then now they're allowed. And then of course there's the overlapping generation is new light. So I mean, those are changes. How does that make you feel as far as your, like, confidence level?
So you obviously know somewhat. Did you study before, or how did you?
I'm at XJW apostate, so.
Okay.
But I'm an apostate.
Oh, you're apostate.
Yeah. Which is just somebody who'd left their former beliefs, really. I mean, I know a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses see me as Satan the devil.
No.
Yeah, I'm not. Thank you.
No.
But I am interested in like why people believe, like getting down to the foundation.
Yeah.
So it just makes me wonder, like, if you're 100% confident that this is absolutely the truth, then I would think you wouldn't be willing to, like, whenever those changes happen in the doctrine, like, wouldn't that kind of shake that number?
What caused you to not believe that Jehovah's Witnesses work?
I think the first thing that started it was the Caleb and Sophia videos. They're just awful. I mean, I can't show that to my kids. 4 years ago? Yeah.
Caleb and Sophia.
It was just awful. I can't be that kind of mom to my kids. So,
What was awful? I'm sorry. What was awful about it?
Well, there's the Sparlock, the toy. I mean, she guilted her child, saying, "Do you want to make Jehovah happy or Satan happy?" And made him throw it in the trash. And that was just, it got me thinking. And then there's a lot of things. And then I finally, I started seeing a lot of contradictions and then the doctrine. And then I started doing research outside of the organization, which they always warned about. And then I started realizing, wait a minute, why are they telling me I can't research anything other than their products? That's like trying to buy buy a car and them telling you don't check, what is it, the Carfax?
Yeah.
So
Where are you from?
Hobbs,
Hobbs, Mexico. Yeah.
What's
Because I
your
don't
name?
think
I'm sorry.
Stacy.
Stacy, I'm Esther.
Esther, nice to meet y'all.
I don't think we've ever, in fact, if you read the magazines, you know we'll reference different other outside sources. And so really, as you probably know, we lead, believe, and research on our own. In fact, we had a meeting last night, and how that we have to individually do research. So it's not like we force anybody to do anything.
I don't really agree with that part, because the children of Jehovah's Witnesses are forced. Because if they don't convert or get baptized, if they don't stick with it, they're shunned. And now after the 2016 convention, you don't even have to be disfellowshipped to be shunned. And so, I mean,
I'm not sure again.
What do you mean you don't have to be disfellowshipped?
now they're encouraging you people to shun inactive members, and I know many inactive members who are shunned. So. Everywhere, I know a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses.
Well, you have to ask the ones who are active. Because the ones who are not active.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I've seen them shun us before. You know, the active ones. So.
You feel like we shunned you just now, though?
No, y'all are being very nice. Thank you for that.
And so we
yeah.
don't. And so, I don't know, because we're not taught that way. Like Esther says, we talk on the Bible. We love everybody. So we're not judges. We can't be judges.
The judge thing, yeah, I don't agree with, because I've seen it too much, being judged. I am shunned because I decided I didn't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore, and that's not biblical. So there's a lot of things.
Were you baptized?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nowhere in the Bible does it say that if you exercise your free will to change your mind, that you're going to lose your whole friends and family, like everybody's going to treat you like you're dead. And so that's one, unbiblical. And then the new light and overlapping generations, the blood doctrine, there's just like so many things that are not biblical. It's hard to, what am I trying to say? I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
But
yeah. I mean, of course, we're given direction, and no one ever tells us you can or can't do this. Like, we have our free will that Jehovah gives us.
Can I see that Young People's Ask book to kind of, whichever volume on it? Yeah. See, like, for example, in here, it tells you can't masturbate. That one really freaks me out, because there's these young kids, like teenagers, going through puberty, and they're being told what they can and can't do with their own bodies, and that's not even in the Bible. And then they feel shame and guilt, and they're suicidal, and then not hurting anybody. Like, how is that hurting the congregation personally? It doesn't make any sense. And then to turn around, I don't know if have y'all heard of the Australian Royal Commission? So the Australian Royal Commission, they did an investigation in Australia into a bunch of religious organizations. And they found one that, they wanted to see what their child protection policies were. They found one religion that had over 1,000 cases of pedophiles that were not reported to the police. And it was the Jehovah's Witnesses. And so now there's lawsuits. There was like over 1,000 that were reported to the elders, but not to the authorities. And that's because in the elders book, have you heard of the Shepherding the Flock book? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place.
No.
The Shepherding the Flock book is a secret elders book, and if you ask them, they might deny it. I've had people deny it.
Elder.
Okay, well then
Husband's an elder.
you can ask him about the Shepherding the Flock book. It's a secret handbook for the elders, and sisters aren't allowed to look at it. Well, it's on the internet now, and there's a passage in there that says if somebody's accused of child molestation, you have to have a second witness to the crime. And how often does that happen? And then they meet with that abuser and the child with an elder, an untrained elder. It's extremely traumatizing for the children. And if there's not a second witness, they leave it in Jehovah's hands. And that's what the passage says in that book. So there are lawsuits going on right now. There's another one that just started in Canada. And then back in Australia, there were like Over 2,000, and I'm not exaggerating because these are the numbers. You can even find it on like Washington Post, a lot of mainstream news, and then it's also on YouTube. The court hearings are on there, and it just goes back to the whole. Jehovah's Witnesses are not following the Bible. They're not.
So what would you tell us if we need to follow you?
Me?
Or
Follow
what?
me?
I mean, what would you say that we're doing wrong?
I would say speak up and fight for change. Fight for.
But if you don't believe that way, I mean, you have to give us something specific because everything that we've learned and studied is in the Bible. Even the whole that's unclean. Jehovah's clean and holy.
It doesn't say anything about touching your own body being unclean. There's literally no scripture. Just the same with the blood. It doesn't say no transfusions. And I know Jehovah's Witnesses like to use the alcohol thing. Why would anybody want to put alcohol in their veins? That doesn't make any sense, especially to save your life. The Bible says that life is precious. So why would you die because of a misinterpretation of a scripture over saving your own child's life or your own life? And there's
on the matter of that, and I'll say this is speaking for myself. I would much rather die faithful to Jehovah, even if my thinking is a little bit off, knowing from my side of the Bible that this is how convinced I am 100%, that I'm willing to die, knowing that I have a hope of resurrection, and that Jehovah will say, well, at least Irma was trying. At least she was trying.
Oh, that's rough.
That's rough. That's pretty convinced. That's pretty,
What about your children?
I've got 2 daughters.
I mean, would you let them die because of your beliefs?
My daughters are adults.
I mean, if they were kids, hypothetically. I don't mean it.
They were children at one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, how bad would I be as a parent if I saw them in the street playing and just not to say anything? It's like, well, they'll figure it out. Or to know that they're going to
But
drink
why would
poison.
you even say anything if they're in the street and you believed in the resurrection? Why would you even try to save them if you're not going to try to save them if they need a blood transfusion?
Well,
we value life the way Jehovah does. We try and see life the way Jehovah sees it.
And
So protecting ourselves from those things.
Of course, yeah.
With the whole
Prevention was the main thing.
Right.
But then sometimes you can't always prevent it. There's leukemia and there's accidents. So why push your own beliefs and hopes and allow somebody like a child to die? Like that child might grow up and decide this isn't the true religion. I don't want to be this. And
that's their choice. After they become like you, when you're 20
if they survive to.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for saying that. No, I'm 32. I'm a late non-traditional because I dropped out to pioneer.
Yeah.
And so, well, at least I'm more mature now. I have different.
You have a choice now. You grew. Your parents did the best they could. Made some decisions, maybe some not, but you have a choice now. Your choice was to leave, and that's your choice. We don't fault you. We don't fault the parents. And so, as a little kid, they did the best they could. As you got older, then you could decide.
But then they'll be shunned.
Are your parents still in the truth?
I was a convert.
You were what?
I converted to. My parents were never Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh,
I was in the organization for 10 years, and like I said, I pioneered and everything. So I see the things that y'all say don't happen. I've seen it happen within my congregation. I've done it. The shunning, it's severe. People commit suicide all the time because of it. And
I've got 2 sisters with this fellowship.
And you don't talk, and you're fine with
my sister.
Their flesh.
My dad passed away, and my sisters hurt just like I did. And I hugged them, and they mourned just like I do. And so I hugged them.
But it's family emergencies. What about the everyday? I love you. I want to send you a message. Hey, let's get together and have
my
lunch.
sisters, just like if my sisters did wrong, and so they studied the Bible long enough that they knew that was wrong, and they knew also the consequences of what would happen of any of it.
But no, what exactly is wrong? Did they kill somebody in your family?
You have to kill somebody to.
If they're toxic people, yeah. I have a toxic relative I don't talk to. But did they just like have premarital sex or?
Why do you shun your? Did they kill somebody? Your relative?
No, they were toxic to my.
Like what do you mean?
It was a toxic relationship. Meaning, I don't care if he like had sex with somebody who wasn't married to him, I would never shun somebody for that. I wouldn't shun somebody for changing their religion.
Well, my sisters are good people. They chose the life course that they wanted, and it's still my hope. And they know, Jehovah, but they still choose not to, and that's fine. I'm not forced to speak or not forced. It's my decision as to what I want to do. But my loyalty is to Jehovah first, always will be. And I love my family, I love my sisters, but I love Jehovah more. And they know that. They know what they have to do to get in a good relationship with Jehovah.
So they have to force themselves into a religion they're not happy with, so that you'll talk to them.
You keep saying force. I'm not saying that word. It's
okay.
Yeah. We don't force them into a force. Strike that. We are representing Jehovah's Witnesses, so we don't force anybody. It's not like we have to take the literature. We're not forcing you to take it. So it's like it's volunteer. So for them to come back, it's volunteer. But we're not forced to do that.
But you're giving them an ultimatum. It's either you come back or I'm not talking to you. It's that, and it doesn't even. Jesus didn't even shun anybody. So how come Jehovah's Witnesses don't follow Jesus' example?
I'm just telling you right now. This example right here, we didn't force you. We're not shunning you.
But do you shun your sisters?
No.
So you talk to them on an everyday basis, or like hang out with them?
I don't talk to anybody on an everyday basis. Right?
Okay, not literally.
Really? I haven't seen her since yesterday. I don't call her.
Yeah, but if you see her in the restaurant, I mean, you're gonna go talk to her. But what if you see your sisters in the restaurant?
And you have to look at the reason why these ones are that way. It's a loving, it's a lover. This is what Jehovah. It's what the Bible tells us. There's specific instructions in there for how to handle situations like this.
It says not to even greet somebody known as a murderer, a fornicator, and all this other stuff. It doesn't say anything about.
It says even one called a brother. So keep reading. Called a brother.
Yeah, but
so that would be the difference because you look here on campus, all these different personalities and whatever. But then when it's a brother, then it's a little bit different. And we love them still. We hate what they did. I don't hate my sisters. I hate what they did. And so they're always, always, always what we call.
So why shun people who disassociate? That's a Watchtower doctrine. That's not a biblical doctrine. That's a governing body.
Quoted it.
It didn't say anything about leaving. You just said called her brother. You didn't say who exercises their free will and decides they don't want to be. It doesn't say that.
Like, for example, you said the person that you no longer have feelings with because they were toxic. I mean, so you had to keep yourself away from that person. If not, then what would eventually happen? Like you would maybe start becoming like them.
No, of course not.
Well, I mean,
I have enough self-control that I'm not going to become a narcissist because I.
Right, and if you can do that, that's great. But not everybody can. But with time, that may start to wear on you. I mean, even unknowingly. And
just because somebody changes their religion.
Well, and they may practice things that we don't agree with that are not in the Bible.
But what if they don't? Like me, I didn't go to another church. I'm an atheist. And I'm happy. I do a lot of humanitarian stuff. As Jehovah's Witnesses, we don't do humanitarian. Or back then, not we. Y'all do. Okay, and I'm not trying to point at y'all. Jehovah's Witnesses do not do humanitarian efforts. They don't do charities. They only donate to the worldwide work and the Kingdom Hall funds. They don't go and help in disasters to help other people. Even when you help other Jehovah's Witnesses in disasters, you have to sign over. Y'all probably don't know this, but if you research it, you'll find out. You have to sign the entrance check over to the Watchtower, and then the people who are actually helping are not getting paid. They're using their resources. They're using the good people, the little Jehovah's Witnesses, but the big ones in Bethel, the ones or in Warwick.
No.
They're getting the big money.
No, you're
so you've
wrong.
researched
I'll just
it?
tell you straight up, you're right. You're not right. That's not accurate at all.
It is because you have to research. I have a feeling you haven't researched.
I've got a daughter. My sister's in Barbados. She's at one of the branches there. And so her husband is one of the, like you say, big dogs.
He's a governing body member?
He is.
Oh, wow.
He's
a Jehovah's Witness God.
No, he's not on the governing body. He is just at the branch. They live in the branch. Yeah. And so they volunteer. Everything we do volunteer. We don't get paid for this.
I know
goes all
that.
the way up. There's no volunteer. We do our research.
You didn't know about the Australian Royal Commission. There's a lot of things that y'all don't know about the
A lot of things I
organization.
don't know. I tell you that straight up. Yeah.
That one's a really big thing. And like, look at y'all know about Russia, right? Yeah. I mean, it's becoming. There's more light shed on the fact that Jehovah's Witnesses are extremists, doomsday extremists, and it's becoming more widespread. And that's all I ask of y'all is to please do a little more research. Look at jwfacts.com. It's not made by disgruntled employees, or I would say employees. It's not made by disgruntled ex-JWs. It's actually information taken from jw.org, and it's factual information. So if you look up jwfacts.com, you can find all the things that need changing, and maybe try to push for change, or maybe like talk to your fellow brothers and sisters who don't know anything about,
I'm
so.
by myself. There's no changing here. So there's no changing here.
So then why do you change every time there's a change? You're contradicting yourself.
The truth.
So you only change if the governing body tells you to change.
That's if Jehovah does.
But Jehovah doesn't change. The Bible says he doesn't change. So the governing body changes all the time.
The main doctrines of Jehovah's Witnesses have not changed.
It's changed a lot. They used to smoke. They, like I said, the vaccines, the blood. There's the prophecies that have failed so many times. Like, this is a false religion. It's a false prophet.
That has been, it goes back to, the scripture talks about being clean. It's not going to say cigarettes or cigars, but it does talk about
beards?
the body being,
Supposedly Jesus had a beard, but now it's forbidden because the governing body tells you can't have beards.
The Bible says Jesus made wine, right?
Made wine?
Yeah, turned water to wine. But it's
No, I'm sorry. Beard.
Oh, beard.
Yeah, facial beard. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm like, wait a minute.
He got wine in his
all
beard?
this other stuff. Yeah.
Right?
Beard, yeah.
Well, I appreciate y'all talking to me. Irma Day.
And I'm Esther.
Esther? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I hope that y'all will at least, ask your husband about the book, or at least think about it. That's all I ask. Is I just want to help people open their eyes.
Yeah.
But y'all have a good day.
All right.
Thanks. There's a Pride Festival right here. This is a much better party. Well, that escalated quickly. I started out wanting to do a little street epistemology on them and just try to, talk to them about why they believe it. But they quickly figured out that I knew more than they thought I knew. So, a lot of contradictions. They said a lot of stuff about it never changes, but it changes, and I got some literature, and this is a really bad one. This is just disgusting. Let me show you. Okay, this is the young people aspect. Don't mind my nails. My 6-year-old painted them, and I haven't haven't taken off the paint yet. But they said that they don't have that many strict rules, and that they're not restrictive. That's pure lies. Look, they even have rules on music. You can't even listen to music very often. What's wrong with listening to music? Well, I can find. How can I control my emotions? How can I avoid homosexuality? By the way, like my new pin, just got it. How can I? Why so many rules? Ooh, we should read that one. I don't know. It's just, kids should not have to grow up with this. Yes, they can be moral without being a Jehovah's Witness. They can be moral without being a Christian, even. Why put this guilt in the head of your growing child who's trying to figure out the world? So many rules. Jesus.